Okay, it looks like we're recording. So I want to welcome everybody to our special edition Zoom. I'm excited about this for multiple reasons. One, because I've just been excited ever since Saturday. I knew Jetty was getting great results with the products, but I was only, I was a taste tester at most because they were really needing his results and I didn't want to cut into his supply. So, and what? What'd you? Had to hide it. Yeah, had to hide it. He had to hide it from me, is true. So you can imagine, right, as he's getting these good results. So I'm more and more excited about all the science behind it the more that I dig. We talked about it a little bit last night, but I just kind of touched on it so everybody would make sure and listen to both recordings is what my hope was. So I want to tell you who our guest is. She is a fellow Jewel Ambassador. Her name is Melissa Cuevas Collins. If those of you who know who Coach and Patty Cuevas are and you recognize that name, she is related. She was a Cuevas by birth. And I think, are you a niece? Is that right?
My dad and Ronnie are cousins, so I'm a second cousin.
So yeah, not exactly like up close and personal related, but that's a name that many on my team will recognize, being that is who our upline, it's up a ways, but upline from us are the Coach and Patty Cuevas. Now, that's not her claim to fame specifically, but I did want to tell you guys who, where, in case you see the name. Specifically why I wanted to have her on the call today, there's two reasons. The most important being that those of you who have been on my team for a while and been on my Zoom calls for a while, you know that it's a rare occasion that I have a guest speaker. And perhaps I need to work on this about myself, but I have to really trust someone in general, trust their knowledge, but just trust their character in general before I'm going to just put them on my team call in front of the people who I do business with. And that's above and beyond the knowledge that you're going to hear today, above and beyond the education that you're going to hear today, and any opinion about the product. Above and beyond that, I trust Melissa. And so I wanted to introduce her in that way, first of all. And secondly, to say that she is a super smarty pants, very educated. I think if you combined our personalities, you would have a rip-roaring mess, because between, I could take a few sentences of something she could teach me and I scream it from the rooftops. That's more my personality, right? And her personality is she's probably going to know a lot more about the cellular level of things, the science behind things. And I'm really excited. She's your actual degree is called Cytology, true?
Yes.
Cytology. And so I'll let you, anything you
Cytology.
Okay. Anything that you want to explain or any part of your story, if there's anything you feel led to share, we're happy. We are admittedly doing this fly by the seat of our pants style, which is true butterfly style. It's the only way we know how to do things. So as I think of questions I may ask her, just let her share first. And then if we think of things, we can ask her, okay? Is it okay if I turn it over to you, Melissa?
I'm ready.
Okay. Okay, let's go.
I'm very nervous, but I'm ready. And Lori, that introduction meant more to me than anything in the world, because I think very highly of you and kindred spirits, and that we've a fringe group, and I'm sure your team can probably see that with y'all. Y'all are a little just different, and it's a difference that one can be proud of, nothing to be ashamed of. And so the fact that you would let me have access to your team and even speak to them is a great honor. So thank you for that vote of confidence. I just finished watching Jennifer Pickett's video. Have you seen it yet about
I haven't.
The new Slim? If you haven't seen it, y'all, it's for training purposes only, and it's really good. And so go watch that if you get a chance. I'll send you the link, Lauren, you can give it to your team. But it's really, really great information, really beyond what I would talk about here. My passion, though, has always been our products, as has Lori's and Jetty's. And we're kind of kindred spirits in that, we started out with a why. Lori's was about her brother. Mine was about my mom. My mom has always been overweight. Even as a child, she was considered obese. And she got on the product, the Plexus Slim. I was scared for her to try it because I just knew it could kill her. She was in such bad health. I felt like it might be dangerous with all her medications. So I said, let me research the ingredients. So spend an entire day looking at all the scientific research about alpha lipoic acid and Garcinia and all the ingredients. And I was blown away. And I called her and said, Mom, you cannot afford not to do this. You must get on it immediately. And so I was so won over. And of course she began drinking it. And that's my Mississippi coming out. She drank it. And she didn't lose a pound. And we were so discouraged. And so I said, well, I keep hearing about these other two products. Let's look at this. And so I started looking at them, started reading. I'd never been exposed to probiotics in my life. Started reading about probiotics. And I was so blown away. I said, get on these products. She did. And about a month later, I'm talking about the Probio 5 and the BioCleanse. A month later, she called me. She said, I'm afraid to say something. And I'm like, well, tell me so. I just don't want to jinx it. But I'll just tell you this. My body is melting away. Like, what do you mean? She said, I can't explain it. I'm losing weight in places I've never lost weight before. And so that was my why, where I began, because I knew if it could help my mama, it could help anybody. And because I spent a lifetime of watching her struggle with her health and her weight. And of course, she has autoimmune diseases. She has Hashimoto's, and she always had thyroid issues. And now she is such a firm believer in our products. And she's probably, even though she's had breast cancer, she's probably healthier now, just getting over breast cancer, than she's ever been in her life.
Wow.
So it's super, super exciting. So all that being said, I'm the green in my team. I'm the one that it took me 6 months to join. I had to study the comp plan. I had to know every detail. And so, but the lab rat in me, which cytology, y'all, is a lab position. And it's where I look in the microscope at body fluids, looking for cancer and infectious diseases and microorganisms. And so I love microbiology, and that's kind of what drew me to start looking into what akkermansia was. So I know you've heard a whole lot about phlegm. And Lori, I don't know what you've taught about the microbiome. Have you taught a lot about that? Or
no, not a lot. No, get after it.
Okay, well, really all it is trillions of microscopic things living on our body and in our digestive tract, which sounds really gross. But without the bacteria, which I know you've taught this, that there are good bacteria and there are bad bacteria. And when the bad bacteria overgrow, we now have disease. Hippocrates said, all disease begins in the gut. And I absolutely, truly believe that. And I believe that science is now proving what he couldn't. And it was a theory in his time, but now we know that the gut is just about everything, and what's funny about all of this is we've heard all our lives, an apple a day will keep the doctor away. You are what you eat. Hippocrates saying, all disease begins in the gut. All that sounds so simple, but there is scientific proof after every bit of that now. And so the simple things that we've taught, we have all this complicated scientific evidence now proving that an apple a day will keep the doctor away, and that we are what we eat, and those simple things. So I've always loved the simplicity of Slim and the way we take it and the way we use it, and then simplicity of the way we think about health now. It's getting simpler and simpler. Eat real food. That's not really revolutionary, is it? Instead of invented, scientifically designed foods. So anyway, what we know about bacteria, funguses, viruses, all of those can cause us to be sick when they're overgrown. And a lot of times the symptoms are hidden in just with weight gain, or you're just feeling tired. And those, we're kind of told, well, we're getting old, we're going to feel this way. We kind of start accepting and acknowledging the way we feel as normal, when really it's not. So to me, those are the hidden symptoms of digestive problems, or bacterial imbalances, I should say. And then there's times where you're given diagnoses like IBS, Crohn's disease, celiac, ulcerative colitis. The list goes on and on. All the autoimmune diseases, all of those things begin in the gut and are major symptomatic of, again, one small thing, gut health. And so it always boils down to inflammation. And if you don't know what inflammation is, it's really God's way of the body healing itself. Because if you cut your finger, it's going to heal under the right conditions. You're going to wash it, keep it clean, put a Band-Aid on it, put some Neosporin on it, whatever. It's going to heal. And the inside of our body is no different. When we give our body the right environment to heal, it will heal itself.
Right.
And that was God's design. And so the inflammation is just another one of God's mechanisms in the body to heal itself. And so our diet, our horrible diets, cause the body not to be able to heal itself quickly, and it causes our body to react to the foods that we're eating. So over time, this long-term inflammation, of course, is causing ulcerative colitis and diverticulitis and all these issues. Well, that inflammation is kind of like, I hate to say this word because it's so gross, but it's like pus in our digestive tract.
Yeah.
That's what it is. That's what inflammation is. When you have an infected wound on your hand, it's pussy. And that is inflammatory cells in the body trying to heal. And so when you've got that covering your digestive tract on the inside, your body starts getting very, very sick. Long term, what that does is it starts breaking down the cell connections between the cells where things can leak into the bloodstream, which is what we have leaky gut syndrome. And Lori, I know you know a lot about that, right?
Yes. Yes, we talk about that particular thing all along.
Yes. It is so real. And the medical people prefer to call it intestinal permeability, but I prefer leaky gut. So where the rubber meets the road is when we don't have enough good bacteria in our guts. And most importantly, when we don't have a particular bacteria that's called Akkermansia, and everybody's hearing it now. It sounds like necromancer to me from Lord of the Rings, but anyway, that's what I think of when I think of Akkermansia. But it's a good thing. It was only discovered 13 years ago. They started studying it in rats, and here's what they found. The thinner you are, the happier you are, and the healthier you are, the higher levels of Akkermansia you have. The lower levels you have, the more health issues you have, and the more overweight you have. So they're calling it the weight loss bacteria. And so the studies now have shown that Akkermansia helps with weight loss, blood sugar, colon health, heart disease, cholesterol, and that's just a short list. I'm not even done with the research. But mainly it helps with the inflammation in your gut. That's one big thing it helps with, because it feeds on that. And so I've really found myself in tears a lot over the past few days. I've been overwhelmed about what I'm learning and how far ahead of the curve that Plexus is. This has been mind-boggling for me. And I know when we got on the old Slim, a lot of you saw results that you never expected, and it certainly didn't say that, what was going to happen to you on the bag. There were so many benefits we could have never, ever dreamed of, and that's what we're going to see with this new Slim, so y'all get ready. We're going to hear testimonies and things that we would never even imagine possible with our new product. So it is so important that we tell as many. I want to hide it and keep it a secret and drink it all up. But on the other hand, I want to sit on the roof and shout it to everyone that this is so important where we're at. But the research is mind-boggling. And I said this the other day, and I'm going to continue to beat this drum. Because I remember saying it in the opportunity video. I said, we have cutting-edge products. And I really believed that, and we did. But now we don't. We have gone beyond cutting edge now. We are revolutionaries. And what Cindy Latham and her team are doing are amazing. And I truly believe this is just the tip of the iceberg. I think we have a lot more coming because they are so far ahead of the research than us normal people that it's just, like I said, I've been in tears for days over this. I feel so grateful that we have them. And so I think, like Lori said, we need to bathe them in prayer and the efforts that they're putting forth. And for once, we are at an advantage over the pharmaceutical companies. And that advantage is that we have natural things. The pharmaceutical companies have to abide by FDA studies. And so they will be years and years behind us, in my opinion. And so this is our time right now before they can catch up. So this acromantia is completely amazing. The research is mind-boggling. And I keep thinking, well, why can't we just put it in a pill? Why can't we just throw it in a capsule and now we've got our magic pill, the weight loss pill? And there is no magic pill. Probio 5 is the only magic pill on earth that I know of. But, and the reason, it really is, but the reason why acromantia can't be put in the pill that I know of is because it's never been isolated out from a human. And so there is a study coming out or being done where I think for the first time ever they've isolated acromantia out. So it could be coming, but I guarantee you that Cindy Latham and Tara Robinson will be watching that closely. Yeah. Now, back to the new slam. How is all this important to the new slam? Well, the new ingredient is called XOS. It's called acylo oligosaccharides. And all it is a fiber, but it's a non-soluble fiber. And it's also acromantia's favorite food. And so the hope is, and the studies have shown, that the acromantia is going to be fed by our new slam. So every time you're drinking your Plexus Slam, it's feeding the good bacteria in your gut. Not only is it feeding acromantia, it's going to help Lori's favorites, the lactobacillus, and what is the other one? The bifido. I can't even say it. Bifido. And it is going to help those increase too. So now more than ever, it's so important that we have to stay on the Probio 5 and the triplex, because this is now going to be that next step in health and wellness for us, because it wasn't really the triplex. It works beautifully together, right?
Right.
But before it was called the triplex, we had the Slim and we had these two other products that some people need, and then we put them together because it makes a great combination and it worked together for people like my mom. She had to have those three. But we've taken it to a new level with the new Slim, because now the Plexus Slim is designed to work with these two products. Before, they were just an add-on or a combo. Now they are perfectly designed to complement and work synergistically with one another. And so it has to be the triplex when you're getting people on the Slim. It's so important that they do that. We're just going to get so much value for our money that way, y'all. So what's going to happen when you get on the new Slim? Something's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to forewarn you that you're probably going to notice some headaches, maybe some slight diarrhea, constipation. You may detox a little bit. You may have gas and bloating. You may gain a little weight. Lori, did Jetty have any symptoms at all when he first swapped over to the new Slim?
Well, no, he's a man, so not only did he just drop weight, he didn't have any symptoms. I will say that I did, and I'm familiar with of the testers, there were just a couple or three that had I was thinking, well, this is probably die off. And I do believe that that's what it is, because it was very short-lived, and once it was over with, it was mostly bloating type symptoms.
Yes, yes.
Day or two, 3 or 4 days at the most.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think the reason that you can't quit the old Plexus and go straight to the new Plexus, for some people, not everybody, but some of us have been on the old Plexus for years and years.
Yes.
And so it would be like quitting coffee, and tomorrow, how are you going to feel? Oh my gosh, you're going to feel terrible. And so I'm suggesting that people double up and do an old and a new for a couple of days, and just make an easy transition and kind of wean yourself off the slim, just to avoid some of those more dramatic symptoms. But here's what I've heard. I've heard a lot of people feeling sluggish, and what I said was use the other products to treat the symptoms that you might experience. So if you're feeling sluggish, get on the edge, make sure you take your Accelerator or take your Boost. Make sure you're getting your vitamins. If you start noticing you're hungry all the time, and this is one of the things that they talked about at the big reveal that some of you probably saw, was your metabolism is going to be increased. Well, anytime your metabolism is boosted, you're going to start feeling hungry. And a lot of people get on it and they're like, gosh, I just feel hungry all the time. It's like I can't stop eating. That's just because the fires and your body temperature, your thyroid's working better, everything's working correctly. And so your body needs more energy. And what we want it to do is burn up the excess energy we have stored as fat. So when you go to grab a snack because you're just feeling hungrier, grab a 96. Do a P96, or do some sort of high protein, fat, low carb type snack, string cheese or something like that. I'm very big on the ketogenic diet, and our products kind of have a ketogenic effect, and so we just want to make sure that we watch our carbs and not eat too many. So, but whatever, that is the main thing. I'm trying to think what other. Oh, and the headache. A lot of people I've heard have a slight headache, so I've said just get back on the old Slim just for a couple of days and kind of wean down.
Yeah.
And so that way, if anybody comes to you and says they're feeling hungry or this or that, you're like, great, it's working. And I think that'll be a great telltale sign to know that the product's actually doing something. So anyway, that's really all I had to say. And I would love, questions or whatever, but, or you can add anything you'd like to. I just, and I could probably go a lot deeper. I just don't have it written down. But I just know this, we are in for a wild ride with Cindy Latham and her marketing team.
Yes,
we have a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun ahead.
I will add a little bit of insight into what you said there at the end in regards to this will be a product especially for people. I don't know yet if it'll be this way for brand new people, brand new prospects who've never tried any of our products. All I can really speak to is it probably will be this way for people who've been with the company for a while and used our old products. Like she said, the exact example of coffee. But someone told me, one of the testers told me that the first couple days they had a headache. And so I thought, I want to see what would be causing the headache. And I did discover that it was coming off the old, not going on to the new, if that makes sense. Polydextrose is not in the new, which was a filler, basically. And detoxing off of or withdrawing from polydextrose can cause headaches. So there are a lot of question marks up in the air as far as what someone's first 2 to 3 days might look like. And what you just really are going to have to be is a good encourager. We will probably, as time rolls, we will probably put I'll probably make a great graphic eventually that has troubleshooting questions. Ask someone if they say, am I supposed to be going to the bathroom more often? Or I don't know if this is normal, and maybe we can put some questions together to help someone who's switching from one to the other. But what you said about playing around with the other products, I hadn't even thought of actually phrasing it that way, but it did occur to me that perhaps something in this product might do something for you that one of the other products was doing. I don't know why I'm thinking to say this, but for example, if you were one of those people who took more than one accelerator, wait, is that right? You can take 2 accelerator? Right.
Yes.
Okay. Maybe you want to play with that a little bit. Maybe you only need 1 accelerator, at least for a while, until you kind of get a balance of what this is going to feel like for you. Is it accelerate? For some reason, I never let it sink in. Accelerator and boost and their perfect differences, whatever. But which one of those increases metabolism? Does anybody know?
Well, they say boost is a thermogenic, but I've seen some graphics where it says accelerator increases metabolism. So
that's what I was going to say. I believe that maybe if you feel hungry the first 2 or 3 days, you may want to decrease your accelerator, because I experienced that. And now that I'm balanced out, I'm not feeling it at all anymore. And so you can imagine my first 2 days experience where Jetty's all like, yeah, He-Man, power on, this stuff is awesome. And I'm like, oh no, this one's not working for me either. Like, I'm like wanting something to work so bad. I can feel it working crazy good now. So I think it's very important that we teach people, like she said, string cheese, a little bit of avocados, perhaps a half handful of almonds, something to power through that first 2 or 3 days with healthy protein, like she said, a 96, working her a little bit with the other products. Also, I shared a little bit on my call last night, but I want this recording to be very all-inclusive, so that if somebody just picks one to watch, I want them to watch this one. So I'm going to share a couple other things that were just predictions of mine. These are all I love to predict. And the first things that I said, and you talked so much about inflammation today that I'm pretty sure I'm going to be right about this, was I predict to see some of that face chiseling like we used to see when people would first get on the products. And you still see it. I mean, it's not that you used to see. I'm saying I saw it in myself in the beginning. It's still there. I can go back and look at old photos and be like, wow. Yeah, my face was like literally looked like somebody had taken a cookie cutter and like there's all this extra fluff all around. When you cut a cookie out, but then before you've pulled all the extra stuff, it's like my bone structure used to have all this extra crap all around it. And my face looks entirely different now. And I feel like that will be even more pronounced in people because of inflammation. I think we're going to have more results with inflammation with people. I used to think that was water weight, but the more I learned about the products, I was like, no, because that stays off of people if they stay on the products. So, and I also, go ahead.
I was going to say, every time you have fluid go to an area, inflammation is usually traveling with it. Swelling knees, swelling hands, usually you have inflammation there too. So if the inflammation is not there, the fluid is probably not going to be there as well. So it makes sense.
Okay. So I'm liking this even better. Okay. So face chiseling, and obviously I believe we're going to have we're already seeing people say, I know you guys heard the one I said last night, which was pretty extreme one, but I'm going to share a more kind of like middle of the road one. I'm already having several people say they've lost 5 pounds since Saturday. And I know that I said that seems more believable. It's more believable than the one I shared with you last night. And I believe that there will be some initial like extreme, maybe, 5 pound weight loss really quick. And then it may get more, tapered down to where it's not as extreme. But I don't know that. Could be the more that someone has to lose, it may stay extreme like that. The other thing that I predicted was in conjunction with, someone else is saying that I'm not going to say these names, but you can read over here. Someone else said that another Jewel has said, if you want to read, that they lost 9 pounds since Saturday. That's crazy and cool, right? And so the reason I put these expectations out there is because I want you to have belief for yourself that it could work for you. And the other expectation that I have, or prediction that I have, is that we will see anything that's inflammatory conditions, which you can just think of all these things: breathing issues, skin issues, stomach issues, joint issues, even I think memory, and other cognitive type, like the moody blues type issues. I'm trying not to say disease here. I believe we will see lots of feedback over time in regards to those kind of things, because so much about mood swing type stuff and hormonal stuff is connected to the connection between the gut and the brain, and also connected to inflammation. Jetty did a lot of research when we first came out with ease capsules about the connection between inflammation and, I'm trying to think of the way to say it without saying it, but like when you feel down in the dumps, okay? Like chronically, okay?
Oh, yes.
You know what
Yes.
I'm saying? So inflammation.
Absolutely.
And so I think we will see a lot of, like, in addition to, like, for example, you know, when you've been down in the dumps for 5 years and then suddenly you feel better, you think, I'm well, it's gone. And then you feel even better. And then you're like, oh my gosh, I'm even better. And I think that's the type of things that we're going to hear about. Would you think so that we might see some of that?
Oh, absolutely. I am absolutely certain we will, because there is probably not a disease out there that you couldn't Google that and inflammation, and there's going to be a scientific connection.
Yes.
Because our body, all inflammation is God's design to heal your body. And it goes haywire because of what we eat. It's just that simple. It's just that. Now, obviously, there's some genetic things going on too, some, you know, but for the most part, I hate to say it, but it's dietary. And now we have something that's going to help us overcome, I think, the dietary, because our diets are basically restricted to what's available to us. And for most of us, we're so busy, we don't even have time to eat well or eat real food. We're running wide open, we're driving through the drive-through. And we know that lots of people have done very well on Slim and never changed their diet. I think that's going to get even better. And I hate to say it, but I just think we have a better tool now to overcome our lifestyle.
I totally agree with that. I did want to share one more thing business-wise. For those of you who, if you haven't decided yet whether you want an action pack, I did a little bit of math. If you're wanting to use your action pack, you use one bag and then you use the other bag to prospect people, like in 3-day packs, or you could do it as individuals. But here's some math on this. If you already have PV that puts you into the 25% commission. Now, Jetty, you follow along with me because I just did this math in my head a little bit ago. So if you're already following in the 25% commission bracket of consistently having more than 500 in PV, or if this bumps you into it, so if you have 300 something and this $150 action pack would bump you into that commission bracket, then that means you would automatically get back $32.50 in commission. Does that sound right? Okay, maybe I'm wrong. 25% bracket, I think would put it. Am I wrong about that? Does anybody know? No,
it's $37.50. I think it's $37.50. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, you're right. $37.50. So $37.50. You'd knock that already off of the $150, and then if you were to sell, you can do the math yourself later if you want to, because I'm giving you like a roundabout here. Oh, okay. Big storm here at my house if y'all are hearing that thunder. Okay. So if you were to sell sell your other bag as 3-day trials, you would have 10 3-day trials. And there's a really cute graphic someone's sending around showing how they put 3 days worth in a cute little baggie, like you can get a bag, the cellophane baggies that you can get at the Dollar Tree for a kid's party, you know, that you put all the little party favors in. Put 3 of those in a little baggie, turn it over, and staple your business card to it. Send it out in the mail. They were doing 3-day trials for anywhere between $8 to $10. You could kind of choose what you wanted to do. And in that instance, you're going to have 10 of those. So you either make $80 or $100, depending on what you spend, how much you charge for those. So you're already getting down to where you didn't pay to use your own bag. Does this make sense to everyone?
Yes.
Because you're
Very
already
good sense.
$37.50 plus you made $100 back, and then you sell your 3-day trials that came as 3-day trials with Block, Edge, Accelerator, whatever, however that they are. I haven't looked at mine. Yeah, the ones that can't come from the company is 3-day trials, and you're at a point that you've actually made money and got a bag of Slim.
And a 7-day.
Oh, and there's a 7-day. Okay, so definitely. And you got a water bottle. So it's kind of like, duh, I got to do this. Now, if you're really wanting to, Kelly and Tammy are having a thing on Monday night that I can add people into. If you have prospects, I would encourage you, if you don't have prospects, you know how we do the guessing game on our wall? Right now would be I'm talking hot time to do a guessing game, because you could say, guess how many sample packs of Slim are in this whatever, or guess how many whatever. You could do a guessing game about anything to win a stick of the new Slim. Everybody wants to try it right now, right? Everybody's going, I want to try that stuff. So as all these people are guessing, these are prospects, and you can tell them who won. You send them a message that says, this is who won. And then say, but also we have a thing going on Monday night. They're going to be giving away prizes. Would you like to hear, or would you like for me to add you to the group? And that gets them in on at least their first bit. Perhaps if they've been prospected before, it's adding to how many times they've had valuable information added to them about Plexus. So I'm hoping you guys could see the value in what we're doing Monday night. I hope you can see the value in using one of your packs to prospect people, one of your packs from the action pack to prospect people. I shared in our group some possible messages to send out to people, and I want you to remember very importantly that right now, the only way that you can get your hands on the new Slim is in the form of a welcome pack, or if you've registered for the big reveal. So if someone is looking, what I'm about to tell you, you're going to go, that's not what you say. You never say that. Well, I'm going to tell you, you're right. I never say this, but in this particular instance, if you are really working your business right now and you're looking to rank advance and you are into credits for leaders retreat, and this is all stuff that you're like, yeah, that sounds like me. At this point, they have set us up in a way to where you could actually sign someone up for $34.95 and have them get an action pack if it's someone who wants to work the business. And what I mean by that is, would I ever tell somebody in a million years to skip the welcome pack? No. Would I ever tell someone not to get that success kit? No. What I would say is that you could sign up and immediately get the action pack. That qualifies them this month, and then they turn around next month and get their success kit. I'm thinking, which will cause them to count as credit for leaders retreat. Maybe. I'm thinking if they do it next month. I may have that wrong. But anyway, somebody can find out, ask the right questions to the right people. Does that sound right to you? Yeah, you'd have to call. The most important thing you need to know is you want them to have the welcome pack. If they're going to work the business, you want them to have the success kit that comes with the welcome pack. So if it's someone who does want to work the business right now, though, and they're highly motivated by the new Slim, let's say it's somebody who had quit 2 years ago and they're coming back, the action pack is a great thing for them to have, because they could do with it what I just taught you to do with it earlier. They could use it as samples. If they're like, I'm ready to come back, and they already know about the business, you can say, you might want to go ahead and get your action pack so you can have samples to give to people. Because if they were with the business at one time, they may have had a team at one time that they could send new sample packs out to. Is everybody following what I'm saying here? Okay.
Yes.
Sort of, but no. Some of them are going, no, yes. Anyway, so if you want me to put that in writing for you, good luck with that, because I didn't say not to get a welcome pack. No, I'll just record myself saying it right. But I do think it could be, I don't think it's going to be everybody's answer to what you need to do right now. I think that some of you people that are like I'm right in the heat of working my business and I'm, like I'm building a team hot and heavy, it might be the answer for some of the things goals that you're wanting to hit, as long as you're always keeping the needs of the other person first. So it's not there's never a, cake mix answer for everyone. Everybody's going to have their own things. In certain instances, you may see a situation where you think this person wants to try it and they want some samples. In that case, to get them to get the action pack and then get their welcome.
Can I throw an idea out there?
Please. Yes, absolutely.
If you've got somebody that's joining, let them get the new welcome pack maybe get the $99 welcome pack, and then turn around and register for the success pack. And I know that's kind of expense stacked on top, but they've only got 30 days to get that welcome pack once they've joined. It would be better for them to go ahead and have access to the action pack, and they can maybe buy it later in the month. But the key is registering and having access to it.
The key is registering.
Because if they don't get a welcome pack and they register for the action pack, it may be 2 weeks before they can actually get a link to go purchase.
Yes, I'm glad we talked about this. And they may actually run out of the action packs before. That's a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Anyway, okay, yeah, I'm glad you said that. That's a good point. Sometimes I put things out there and they sound better than they actually are. So anyway, if you have a particular situation and you're thinking, okay, before I reach out to this person or I respond to this person, and you want help figuring out what would be the smartest, I feel like you should treat everybody individually in regards to this business. So don't hesitate to reach out to me and we can figure out what's the best thing. I was going to tell you, Melissa, last night I had on my Zoom call, instead of really going into the depths of the science behind this, I thought I should introduce my team to what is known as a fecal transplant.
That's where we're headed.
I told him, I said 2 years ago or so, someone, I had posted this really long, thoughtful post that had some science in it about our products, and someone said, well, I guess that's better than a fecal transplant. And I was like, what in the world is a fecal transplant? And when I started looking it up, I was like, well, goodness, that is the most truthful thing anyone has ever said to me, is that is better than a fecal transplant. However, that's what I was telling them last night. I said, we can get so many of the benefits without having to actually, do the deed of a fecal transplant. So
yep. It would be we would be a lot better off, but that is where medicine is headed.
That is where
because skinny people have more acromantia, and so people are going to want fecal material from skinny people so they can get more acromantia. We'll just feed the acromantia we have and overgrow it that way.
I think that's a great idea.
Yes. Just drink your slim.
You think of the fact that people will go to such extremes. I mean, when you think about it, even like gastric bypass and those types of things, those are extreme answers for chronic problems that we deal with today, and it's extreme and could be very dangerous. So I've seen lots of people have troubles with the bypass and the sleeve and the different types of things that they will do. And so I could not agree more with you about the fact that we are beyond. I wish I could think what you said. Did you say revolutionary? Revolutionary. We're beyond.
Yeah, we're no longer a cutting edge company. We're a revolutionary.
Revolutionary. Well,
we are leading the charge now.
Yeah, we are leading the charge.
Either that or I'm just really behind the times. But I'm telling you, this research, y'all, it's not years and years old. The majority of it is, 2016, 15, 14. And so this is a really new discovery. And so I'm so proud that Tarl allowed Cindy Latham to follow her passion of the microbiome. And she is right on top of, I guess, the new stuff coming out. So I'm just really excited about the future. Super excited.
Me too. Well, I want to close it by saying thank you so much for your time. My team appreciates it more than we could express. And also asking everybody who's on this to please keep our product development and research people held high in prayer, because I believe as we step out more and more into the future of everything health, that that we should keep them covered in prayer. So thank you so much again, Melissa. Everybody's thanking you on here. We appreciate it very much. And I guess that's all we have for today.
Thank you so much for having me, Lori. It means the world to me. Thanks, everybody.